By either side the river lie, long fields of barley and of rye, that clothe the world and meet the sky, and through the fields the road runs by, to many-towered Camelot. The yellow-leaved water-lily, the green-sheathed daffodilly, tremble in the water chilly, round about Shallot. Willows whiten, aspens shiver, the sunbeam showers break and quiver, in the stream that runneth ever, by the island in the river, flowing down to Camelot. 4 grey walls and 4 grey towers overlook a space of flowers, and the silent isle embowers the Lady of Shallot. Underneath the bearded barley, the reaper reaping late and early, hears her chanting cheerily, like an angel singing clearly, over the stream of Camelot. Piling the sheaves in furrows airy, beneath the moon the reaper wary, listening whispers, "'Tis the fairy, the Lady of Shallot." The little isle is all enrailed, with a rose fence, and overtrailed, with roses by the marge unhailed, the shallop flitteth, sinketh, sailed, skimming down to Camelot. A pearl garland winds her head, she leaneth on a velvet bed, full royally apparelled, the Lady of Shallot. No time has she spent to sport and play, a charmed web she weaves all the way. A curse is on her if she stay, her weaving either night or day, to look down to Camelot. She knows not what the curse may be, therefore she weaveth steadily. Therefore no other care hath she, the Lady of Shallot. She lives with little joy or fear, o'er the water running near. The sheep bell tinkles in her ear, before her hangs a mirror clear, reflecting towered Camelot. As a mazy web she whirls, she sees the surly village churls, the red cloaks of the market girls, pass onward from Shallot. Sometimes a troop of damsels glad, an abbot on the ambling pad, sometimes a curly shepherd lad, or a long-haired page in crimson clad, goes by to towered Camelot. And sometimes through the mirror blue, the knights come riding 2 and 2. She hath no loyal knight and true, the Lady of Shallot. But in her web she still delights to weave the mirror's magic sights, for often through the silent nights a funeral with plumes and lights and music came from Camelot. Or when the moon was overhead, came 2 young lovers lately wed. "I am half sick of shadows," said the Lady of Shallot. A bow shot from her bower eaves, he rode between the barley sheaves. The sun came dazzling through the leaves, and flamed upon the brazen greaves of bold Sir Lancelot. A red-cross knight for ever kneeled to a lady in his shield, that sparkled on a yellow field, beside remote Shallot. The gemmy bridled glittered free, like to some branch of stars we see. Hung in the golden galaxy, the bridal bells rang merrily as he rode down from Camelot, and from his blazoned baldric slung a mighty silver bugle hung, and as he rode his arm outrung beside remote Shallot. All in the blue unclouded weather, thick jewelled shone the saddle leather, his helmet and helmet feather burned like one burning flame together as he rode down from Camelot. Often through the purple night, below the starry clusters bright, some bearded meteor, trailing light, moves over green Shallot. His broad clear brow in the sunlight glowed, on burnished hooves his war-horse trode, from underneath his helmet flowed, his coal-black curls on as he rode down from Camelot. And from the bank, from the river, he flashed into the crystal mirror. "Tira lira," sang Sir Lancelot. She left the web, she left the loom. She made 3 paces through the room, and she saw the water-flower bloom. She saw the helmet and the plume. She looked down to Camelot. Out flew the web and floated wide, the mirror cracked from side to side. "A curse has come upon me," cried the Lady of Shallot. In the stormy east wind straining, the pale yellow woods were waning, the broad stream in his banks complaining, heavily the low sky raining over towered Camelot. Outside the isle, a shallow boat beneath the willow lay afloat. Below the carven stern she wrote, the Lady of Shallot. A cloud-white crown of pearls she dight all radiated in snowy white, that loosely flew, her zone in sight, clasped with one blinding diamond bright, her wide-eyed fixed on Camelot. Through the squally east wind keenly, blew with folded arms serenely, by the water stood the queenly Lady of Shallot. With a steady, stony glance, like some bold seer in a trance, beholding all his own mischance, mute with a glassy countenance, she looks down to Camelot. It was the closing of the day. She loosed the chain, and down she lay. The broad stream bore her far away, that Lady of Shallot. As when to sailors while they roam, by creeks and outfalls far from home, rising and dropping with the foam, from dying swans wild warblings come, blown shoreward, so to Camelot. But still as the boat had wound along, the willowy hills and fields among, they heard her chanting her death song, the Lady of Shallot. A long-drawn carol, mournful, holy, she chanted loudly, chanted lowly, till her eyes were darkened wholly, and her smooth face sharpened slowly, turned to towered Camelot. For ere she reached upon the tide, the first house by the waterside, singing in her song, she died, the Lady of Shallot. Under tower and balcony, by garden wall and gallery, a gleaming shape she floated by, dead pale between the houses high, silent into Camelot. Out upon the wharfs they came, knight and burgher, lord and dame, and round the prow they read her name, the Lady of Shallot. Who is this, and what is here? And in the lighted palace near died the sound of royal cheer, and they crossed themselves for fear, all the knights at Camelot. But Lancelot mused a little space. He said, "She has a lovely face. God in his mercy lend her grace, the Lady of Shallot."